For the first time in 14 years, Orlando Pirates have won the league title, taking it from Sundowns, and there is a significance in that. And we're also going to look at how they did this and what makes this so special. I will also want to say this. I am not going to talk about the controversies. I'm not going to talk about how the goals were scored, how the brown envelopes and all of that, because we're not trying to start arguing over other things, but I will talk about just football and what I think actually happened this season. Hello and welcome to the Cutback with me, Coach Mpilo. We talk football here, so if you're interested in that type of content, do make sure to subscribe. And the number of views should be equal to the number of likes. So let's go. Right. So I think one of the biggest things that Pirates did very well this season is their defense, right? We will talk about the other aspects, but we need to talk about their defense because 21 clean sheets in 30 games is mad. Like, if you think about that, they only conceded goals in 9 fixtures across the season. That is mad. The fact that we're here reading the fact that Usipho Chayene has 21 clean sheets. Do you understand how crazy that is? 21 clean sheets. Guys, 21 clean sheets is crazy. It's a lot. It's a lot. That means Pirates were good defensively, but they were not actually good defensively. They were good offensively, which then made them good defensively. You know that whole saying of the best way to defend is to attack. That's what Pirates did. It's not like Pirates were sitting deep and hitting teams on counters. No, Pirates were possessing the ball every single game and making sure that they were keeping teams under pressure. The only time, yes, in transition, when teams try to hit Pirates in transition, that's when Pirates would then have to defend. But for the most part, the defensive part of Pirates wasn't actually the defending. It was just the fact that they kept the ball. So someone I know will hear that and say, hey, Pirates were good defensively. Yes, they were good defensively when they were needed to be good defensively. But their focus was never to be solid defensively. It was to be able to keep the ball, to be able to keep teams under pressure for a long period of time. And guess what? It worked a lot because Pirates were always on the front foot. Pirates were always attacking teams, and it showed. Like right now, you look at how many goals they scored. This is mad. 58 goals, and they only conceded 12. In those 9 matches where they conceded, it was only 12 goals that they conceded. Now, again, look at the gap here. 12 goals conceded, 58 scored. That tells you that they did a lot with their offensive output. That is the story of Orlando Pirates. They were good defensively, but not because they were good defensively, but because they were so good at attacking. And this relentless way of playing by Orlando Pirates is just mad. Like, as a Chiefs fan, I looked at them play and I was like, this is too much. Like, when the season began, it was like, what is happening? Because the ball moves, a policy, ngapa mfukenge ngapa, nangu moremi ngale, pu, net. And the thing is, I watched the last few minutes of the game, Pirates, because I was busy with something else. And you know what I saw? It's literally the 88th minute, and Pirates are still going forward. And what we still talking about them needing to go forward. And that is another thing. The relentless way that Pirates played in their attack is proudly brought to you by, let me check if the mic is recording, proudly brought to you by their coach, because there was a game, I think they were winning 3-0, and then Sipombule came on, or they were winning 1-0 or 2-0. Yeah, it was 3-0, I think. Sipombule came on, and then they started doing nonsense and all of that, showboating of sorts. He was mad. And I laughed that. I love that because you have a man who's winning a match, but is telling his players, Eban, this nonsense that you are doing, I don't know what you are calling it. Stop it. Cut it out. Like that's crazy, and it's good. It's the right mentality because it fosters development in the players that we don't just beat teams, we destroy them. We take all the hope that we can from them. We beat them up so bad that they have no chance. And that's exactly what Pirates were doing to teams when they had a chance. In fact, if you look at this, it's the reason why they also won a cup at the league. Because if you remember, when they scored, after they scored those many goals against TS Galaxy, and all of a sudden they had a better goal difference than Sundowns. Now Sundowns started chasing the goal difference, and in the process, if they just won their games 1-0, 2-0, they would have won the league in the previous match day. But since they were chasing, scoring so many goals because Pirates had put them under that pressure, Sundowns ended up losing one game against TS Galaxy. As a result, they lost the league. So the relentless nature of putting Sundowns under pressure, which we've not seen over the past few years, is what has led to this. And that is why I hear people, a friend of mine was actually complaining about Slap. I'm like, I'm not one who will go against what Wadu does and thinks, because I believe good that coach has a clear idea, but what I rate him highly for is the mentality, is the way that he wants his team to play and the way that he expects his team to carry themselves, not just the tactical ideas and his game model or his game plan for each game. By the way, the game model and the game plan of Pirates never changes. Every game they're playing the same way unless they're playing Sundowns. That's when I've seen them play slightly different. But most games, Pirates are playing the same way. You will have the fullbacks overlapping, Hotongapa, Van Rooyen, Osbelebele on the right, and then you have the wing backs, Umuremi inverting, you have Apolis inverting, Mfukeng, if he's a 10, he stays central there. Now all of a sudden you have 4 players in the central area with the striker in front of them, the fullbacks giving them width, and then there's so much combining that happens in and around the box that people end up getting confused, which is why with the next page of Orlando Pirates, or the next step of Orlando Pirates being going to the Champions League and really competing, and secondly, or firstly, is defending their title that they just won, and secondly, winning the Champions League, they're going to need a striker. Like I said this in the previous video, but I'm gonna say it again. This whole thing of who's this? But Makgopa can press. That has to end. That has to end. We can't talk about Pirates continuing to be dominant if they're gonna have a striker like Umbutuma, if they're gonna have a striker like Umakgopa, who are okay players, but if you look at the quality of the strikers they could have, like imagine actually if it was possible if Pirates had Reyners as a striker. Imagine that. Imagine if they bolstered their attack by having a Shalulile as a striker, for example. Imagine if they had a striker who actually scores goals. You understand? And with all that creativity behind him, there will be so much for him as a striker, so much that would be created for him, and that striker would be scoring goals. Because what we saw for Pirates to even be in the situation where Sundowns caught up with them is the fact that Pirates were not taking their chances. So many times Pirates were in some games where they drew, they were not supposed to draw because of the fact that their strikers were not taking chances. Some of those games ended up not being what Pirates wanted them to be. So the improvement on Pirates' squad is obviously getting a striker. But most importantly is replacing Umfukeng, because after winning a treble, and for the Pirates' perspective and South African football perspective, Mfukeng has to go. That's it. Mfukeng has to go, and that's good for his development. That's good for South African football. So the question now is, who's going to replace him? Right? It's not going to be one of them who are going to step up. It could be Abomrema Police taking over, but someone must come in and do that. But that's a story for another day. Congratulations to Orlando Pirates. One thing I say is I'm a Chiefs fan. Yes, that's 100% correct. But at the end of the day, I'm also a football coach who understands that if a team is coached well, if a team is performing well, there's no need for me to mania or to banter or to try and highlight what happened today with how the goals were scored and say, oh, Brown envelope this, Brown envelope that. The beginning of the season and during the season, it's all been brilliant from Pirates. So I can't just now pretend like everything else in the previous 29 games has not happened and just focused on how it ended while Pirates were brilliant throughout the season. So congratulations to Pirates, and this is good for my team, Chiefs, because I think it will stink for Chiefs management to see the rivals winning while we're just sitting there in third position, celebrating and losing to Chippa United. So, yeah, next year shall be very interesting because Chiefs will also be coming in to try and win the title, and Sundowns will be trying to reclaim their title, and Pirates will be trying to defend it. It's going to be a nice time. So, what did you think of the season for Orlando Pirates? Let me know in the comment section below, and subscribe if you haven't. Bye.